up to it. Bum, 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 bum. I don't see my camera on. We have no camera. For whatever reason, we are cameraless. Alright, well, looks like we gotta re-register it. Bum, bum, bum. Give me a second. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. There we go. Why is it so small? I don't know why it's so small. Like I changed my setup or something. Okay. Should be golden, pony boy. Should be golden. That's about right. Okay. And my lights. The light's not really golden. That should be better. Alright. Sorry about that. Greetings, and salutations. Hope everybody is having a very, very good week. What's up, Supreme? I'm just here to talk about the chapter a little bit because we just had some exciting things in it. I don't think there's really that much to cover, so I'll probably on for less than an hour. Probably like anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. But there's some stuff to go over real quick. So, first things first, right? And if, of course, if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, we go for it. But the Rahab and Yurik fight was that was not a fight. Yo, exactly what we said last week was going to happen happened. Where this man got packed. Not only did he get packed, but he popped the jewel in. He ate a freaking jewel, and still got packed. Like it wasn't even funny. Like when I was reviewing the chapter, like if you've seen the review, I didn't even go into specific details of what happened in the fight because it was just pointless. It wasn't like it was kind of like the. It reminded me of when Yurik fought the bull a couple chapters ago, and he just packed the bull out. What's the difference between what he did to the bull and what he did to Rahab? There is no difference. There is no difference. When somebody is that strong, it doesn't matter the level of people below him. They all get done the same. So it felt like that, where it felt like I'm beating a dead horse a little bit, where literally the guy who's running the test for the floor is getting beat down. Like okay, like I hope that we get away from this a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you, because if we continue this side story, and I watched Naya's video about what's the point. I don't know if you guys seen Naya's recent video. It's called "What's the Point of the Yurik side story?" And in that, he mentions that there's a rumor, I guess, that the side story is supposed to be in somewhere like 150 or 60 chapters or something like that, which is more than a year. Okay, that's more than a year. So I don't know how I feel about that, because if we're not getting season 4 of the regular story until 2020, the end of 2026 or summer 2026, I'm gonna be highly irritated. I'm gonna be very irritated. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do not want to wait till 2026 for season 4 of Tower of God. Like, I don't understand. You're killing you would like I don't is it like 3 years? I don't think it's like 3 years. There's no 160 chapters not like 3 years, right? That's it. That's like 18 months. It is like 3 years. What? No way. I hope there's a lot of double chapters because there's no way okay, I hope that math is wrong. I guess you were right that math is math, and so it is like 3 years. Holy, I guess I'm wrong. How long has the side story been out? I guess we are only on like chapter 27, and it's been like when did they come out? Like March, or April. Yeah, I guess yeah. That math does math out. Oh, that's ass, bro. Like okay, so yeah, I don't know where that came from either because I did Google search that too to see if they and I went on X too to see if like you can type stuff like that in on X if you're in the search bar and the conversations about that come up. I didn't see anything that stuck out to me immediately that talked about that. So that might just be some shit somebody threw out there to be real with you. Um I'm not believing that. There's no way that I believe that the side story goes over 100 chapters, bro. I'm sorry. I don't believe that. I'm pretty sure it's some rumor somebody made up. I refuse to believe that. You cannot. That's the whole problem with Tower of God now and why it's not popular because it's not consistent. It is one of the longest series out there right now in terms of content. Like it often gets compared to One Piece for its world building and story and the amount of chapters it has. But the problem is it's not consistent. Like One Piece does take hiatuses, but it's never like I don't think One Piece is taking a hiatus more than like 3 months. Not that I can recall more than 3 months. Unless like Oda got sick, and I think that may have happened like one time in the past. But like you have to you Tower of God like the hiatus that we took from season 3 was bad enough, and it killed a lot of the hype. And like in between that, season 3 actually wasn't doing that well in terms of its likability. Like you can often just go to Webtoon and just look at the chapters being released during season 3 and watch the literal drop off of people dropping the series. But the hiatus definitely killed it down. So if you're gonna take a year to come back for season 4, I'm sorry, I don't like that, only because I think for us fans, some fans may not care if Tower of God gets recognized or is like mainstream. I do. Okay. One, because I love the series, it deserves popularity, and it's popular to an extent, but it's not like the Naruto or One Piece or even Solo Leveling, which is in the same realm, which since we were talking about manhwas is not even in there because the anime is not that good. Solo Leveling's anime made Solo Leveling take off. But you look at something like a T-Bait, which T-Bait is extremely popular web novel, and in the manga is the manga is pretty good too, but the anime like has people not interested in reading it. Like the anime was so shit. So when you shit the anime, which is what most people are going to watch because obviously it's more convenient, it's easier to digest as a person, you're not gonna make the series pop the way it did. Like Solo Leveling, if you read all Solo Leveling like I have years ago, Solo Leveling gets mid to a point. Like it really gets really mid. Like it really gets really like boring. Like to the point, like I think actually in the story, and spoilers if you don't know about it, then maybe don't listen to the next 30 seconds. But after he beats up the dude's brother who he killed in the cave, it gets extremely boring after that for me. Like the monarchs and shit, and him coming back to life, and all that shit is boring to me. It is mid as fuck. It gets really mid at that point. But all the early stuff in Solo Leveling is pretty good. It's entertaining. It's because you get to watch his ascent, him become stronger. I think once they took the system out of it is when it got boring. I mean, the system of, oh, are you S rank, A rank? Once he got to like continent level S rank, it got really boring after that. Because now he can only fight monarchs and he doesn't compare to anybody else around him. So I'm just saying that to say, Solo Leveling anime made it pop because they went to a great studio that could animate it and portray it that way. T-Bait made the mistake of going to a cheap-ass studio and not portraying the greatness of the story at all. It's unfortunate because I love T-Bait, but it's not going to get the same love unless they change studios. If they keep the current studio they got now, T-Bait will never be as popular as a Solo Leveling. I hate to say it. It'll do what it does for the web novel, popularity of it, which I hear the way it ended is not the best. And the manga part of it is decent enough where it's like it's successful, but it's not explosive. Like Solo Leveling anime explosive, like one of the best in terms of in the last couple years of anime that released. Solo Leveling is one of the best, one of the most anticipated. Like season 2 was super anticipated, and it did its justice. T-Bait, nobody's looking for season 2 of T-Bait. Nobody is looking for season 2 of T-Bait. Tower of God, season 2, man, it was okay. I know some people liked it, but I don't think especially the actual fans of the series, nobody's looking forward to season 3 with this animation studio. So I'm saying that to say, you ride the lows and the highs, okay? You ride the highs. Tower of God, if we take another year plus to drop season 4, I'm talking about, okay, it's the end of the summer now. If season 4 doesn't drop to next summer, because the side story isn't doing it. It's not doing it. Unfortunately, it's not doing it. It's not exciting people. I don't know if he intended it to excite people or hold people over. I think he did. I think Seal thought this would hold people over. It's interesting, but only the lore parts are interesting. That's it. I don't think Yurik's actual story is really that good that you want to make it 100+ chapters. I do not think it's that good. I think it should end around 60, but the way this second floor event is taking place, and maybe this is the big event that does everything. Maybe this is the big event that holds everything. The story can still end by December, November. It sure could, but at its current state, if we're covering every single aspect of how he climbed, I don't like the pacing. I don't like the pacing. Yeah, it can't end by next spring, next summer. It got to end before that. You got to drop season 4 next week, otherwise the hype for it's gonna die. People are already starving. I mean, this helped. It helped, but it's not good enough to feed. Okay, it's not good enough to feed people. It's just because Yurik's overpowered. There's no growth. He's going to learn to control his Shinsu more to an extent, and maybe he learns some techniques. But once you stomp out advanced rankers as a start, if he runs across a couple high rankers, cool. But it's Yurik Mazzano, bro. He's established. We know what he's capable of in the main story. So the lore stuff is the only thing that's going to keep this interesting. So, for example, in this recent chapter, seeing Machini excited people. I didn't think it was Machini at first, because I don't think that the timelines are really weird now. Adding this side story has really messed with the timelines a lot to me. So, I didn't think it was her, but it looking like it is her. That excited people, because, okay, we're getting somebody from the main story who has some significance in the story. Cool. Those things will do numbers. Those things will do important things. I'm not sure if the Yurik story specific shit is gonna really do anything, right? Because Phantominium is a part of the overall Tower of God. Obviously he's a main villain in Yurik's story, but I'm saying we knew about him already. If we got introduced to Phantominium in the side story, I don't know if people would care as much. We know more details about him, but he's been hyped up for years in the main story. So that's not something I'm talking about. I'm talking about as somebody like Mago, right? Like Mago is introduced now. Cool. She looks good and her background is cool, but I don't know. It's not groundbreaking shit. Like the first chapter of Yurik's side story was groundbreaking. A lot of people was like, "Oh my god, Phantom Minium's canon." A lot of people read the first chapter. Cool. After that, when it gets to story specific elements, I'm not sure people actually care if it doesn't have any real lore behind it. That's why I think this Mago thing, while she's an interesting villain because of her origins and Yurik's connection, it's cool. But I don't know if this, and of course, if this becomes a repeated thing, like because the theory running out there now is that okay, Phantom Indium Planet a couple different jewel farms on different floors, and Yurik's basically going to go throughout the floors and destroy them all. That's what a couple of us think the story is going to be. If that's the case, I don't know if repeating that over and over and over again until the side story ends is the recipe for us to be entertained. Obviously, again, if you're throwing lore parts in there, it'll be okay, but I don't find Yurik's side story right now that interesting. Like I don't like Mago's cool because of her connection to Phantominium. I don't know if people would care if it's like she had necessarily had that background. If she was just like an enemy who popped up, was like high ranker level that nobody heard of and that Yurik had to deal with. Like imagine if Rahab was Mago, right? Where Rahab is the high ranker guard on the floor, somebody we never heard of, but he's high ranker level and him and Yurik are actually having a decent battle. I don't think people would still care. I don't think people would still care. It's her background and the way she was made is what makes Mago interesting. But like I don't really like in terms of building up tension for the story. I don't really give a shit that much about her unless she like releases different information. That's it. So if she tells us some stuff from the outside, cool. If she gives us like how Phantominium defeated her, cool. All lore shit. But her as a person, I'm not necessarily interested in, right? Like just for an example, somebody I was interested in as a character, right? Dumas. I loved Dumas's character, one because he was strong as shit, and his demeanor was very like entertaining, right? Especially when you got to see him 1v1 bomb. While the 1v1 bomb fight was ass, Dumas, as like you get to see his nature a little bit more and how he's a little bit unhinged with certain shit. I found that to be interesting. I liked it. I liked seeing what kind of person he is. But that was a build-up over time, over seeing him. Mago is somebody who just exists because of Phantominium and being brought into the tower. And now she's born, and now she's here with Yurik. And I didn't expect her to be born as quick as she has been. She's born fast as shit in terms of like the story, how this pacing is going. So there isn't necessarily a massive build up for it. A little bit, but not massive. She's already out. So now what? Right? Like I guess we'll see. But I'm just saying her interest isn't at a peak that it's gonna draw people in to say, oh, who's this woman? So I'm sorry I just went on a whole rant there, but I hope I was pretty clear what I was saying. Sorry, Supreme. I wasn't ignoring you. I just when I get into a rant, it's hard for me to face off. Um, so it may be wrong, but I don't. But I do hope it ends soon because if we end up having the spinoff in the main series at the same time, I would rather have 2 chapters per week from the main story. Exactly. I don't want your side story and main Tower of God. I don't. And I'm telling you, unless there's different staff members working on this, that's a lot of work for CU to be doing, and I believe in dilution. I totally believe in dilution. You cannot put all your quality into 2 projects and get the same quality. You can't. Something's going to suffer. I would rather the Yurik side story suffer, but then at that point we're just wasting resources. So is the main story going to suffer? Because obviously, and you know, I've seen the people, not the people who are currently reading the official. They haven't reached the amount of fatigue that we've already reached with the side story. I know Naya has. I know I have. We've reached a certain amount of fatigue already with the side story. So, bro, this I don't think this is sustainable. and you cannot do you just can't do 2 chapters. You just can't. Something's gonna suffer. I don't see the problems that we were having in season 3 being fixed currently. We are having the same problems with the side story because pacing's just ass, man. It's just not. It's just ass. It's like it's so sad because it's the same problems from season 3. It's literally the same shit. It's like I don't know how he outlines these chapters. I really hate it, but yeah. The only people who are excited are people who haven't caught up to the chapters and are webtoon only. And yeah, I don't dislike the webtoon only fandom. I do like those guys, and I think they are in a period where it's still pretty good. But I hope and I pray that when they get to like chapter 21 and 22, even like a little bit lower, like 18 and 17, it starts to get stale. And I hope they aren't overly positive about it, because somebody like as popular, I like Joe a lot. I like his content, but sometimes he comes off as a little bit overly positive with a lot of Tower of God content, and I don't think that's accurate with this. Like I think the fatigue is extremely warranted with this, because it's literally the same thing we dealt with season 3, where there just becomes a part of the story where it's like we're dragging this shit out. So I hope it's not that, because that, yeah, everybody's has their own right to enjoy things the way they enjoy it. I'm okay with that, and you're also okay to look at the bright side of things. But I do think literature is there to be critiqued at points, and if I don't like something, especially if it's something I actually like love, for example, right? I love Harry Potter, right? Like I'm one of the biggest Harry Potter fans out there, okay? Are there parts of Harry Potter that I don't like? Of course. Of course. Like I dislike things about like Hagrid's character. I dislike elements about like Snape's character. Like there are certain elements that you can dislike about the story without hating the story. Like every critique isn't a dislike. So I'm just saying, the webtoon community has not reached the amount of fatigue that we currently have right now. But it's a shame that we're only 26 chapters in and there's already fatigue because the pacing isn't good. So I hope that this doesn't go over 100 chapters. I really hope it doesn't. So, however, CU seems to have picked up the pacing. The last few chapters were so low loving speed. Yeah, and I agree with you. It's I just wish there was some consistency with it, because it's like it's literally like he drops these chapters that aren't good, and he goes to Naver and he looks at the ratings and what the Korean fandom are saying, and then it happens every time. And happened in season 3. He will look at what the fandom is saying about the pacing and about the current shit, and sees the rating for the chapters be like 3 or 4, and then literally after like 2 weeks, the next couple chapters will be bomb shit. The pacing will pick up. The POVs will change. Bits of the art will look better. Like, it's just, he just completely flips it. But then he goes back to doing the same shit again. And it's just like, bro, where's the consistency? It's like, at this point, we expect it. We expect some boring shit to happen. Like, that's what it was for the side story. Like, when we got that shit with, the unnamed princess and Neo's fight, I knew after watching her running around in the circle of the orb that, oh, the pacing right here is going to be ass. The next couple of chapters might be the same way, and they were. And that's why the ratings were shit. And then we got double chapter after that. And then we got this chapter. Like, then he picked it up. It's like he what people was saying. But why can't we always act like every chapter is a 4? Like, you should go with that mindset of my last chapter wasn't that good. I'm gonna try to make every chapter the best chapter. Mind you, every chapter is not gonna be a 10. We know that. I know that. 100%. Every chapter is not gonna be a 10. But every A chapter that's not the 10 or the 9 does not need to be a 3 or a 4 either. It can be a 5 or a 6. We understand setup chapters. But when you have a chapter, as I've complained already so much, where literally it's Neo using an orb and the princess running in the circle the whole chapter, or the chapter after that where Yorick fights the bull and it's just Yorick beating on the bull, just beating on the bull, huh? That's not. Where's the substance there? Like, there's no like, bro. You could have just combined. You like. There's nothing there. Like for us to digest. It's like, okay, I waited a week to come back and watch Yorick Mazzano, who is obviously high ranker level, beat up a creature on the second floor of the tower. That was the content. That was the content. We just watched him beat a bull down. Like that's not enjoyable. Like that's why I said when it felt like I was watching it, it felt cruel in a way, because it's like, bro, I'd rather you. He's talking about he's trying to contain his anger so he doesn't one shot the bull. Bro, one shot him and put him out of his misery, because this is fucked. Like this ain't it. I don't want to see this. So I'm glad that at least the Rahab fight didn't get dragged. I did say that last week in my stream. I prayed that we don't watch Rahab get dragged around. He picked up the pacing. I agree with you here, Supreme. He picked up the pacing. Rahab got his ass beat. Even when he put the jewel in, I thought that the fight would extend even more when he put the jewel in. It literally was like 3 panels, and he still got his ass whooped. That was good. That's great. Fantastic. Let's move on to Mago, who literally pops up at the end of the chapter. Perfect. Can we not keep it that? Can we not keep it that? If we keep it that, cool. I think the story can be good enough. I think it'll be all right. But as I'm expecting, Mago's popping up. I don't know what Machini's involvement is or how much of her we will get. I think we'll see that next chapter. But I think the pacing is going to fall off again at some point. Where I hope it doesn't get dragged out where Yorick and Mago are at a stalemate and we have to watch them kind of go back and forth for a while. Like I'm okay with fights, but like one of the biggest problems with the Dumas versus Bomb fight is that it was a fight that was dragged to fucking hell, okay? That fight was dragged to shit. And it was the beginning part of it was Bomb getting his ass beat for like 3 chapters. Might be 2, but even 2 full chapters is still 2 weeks of Bomb getting his ass twisted up. Then we POV switched and went to like the Traumary's background and all that. Then we came back to the Bomb fight, and now he's doing better and he's like getting more involved. The Black March woke up or whatever, but I'm already got a bad taste in my mouth from from the last chapter I seen him watch him get his ass beat. So I'm kind of over this at this point. And you create that when you do shit like that. So, and that's kind of how it felt watching, again, the Bull and the Neo fight. I don't want to. Why are we dragging this? Like, I don't think it deserves a full chapter. So, yeah. It could be used same to Bull, the Xiongyan Blondie guy, the fraud versus the ranker level Dolphin Queen. It could be. It could be used same to Bull, the Xiongyan Blondie guy, the fraud loss versus the ranker level Dolphin Queen. That fight was a little bit more than it needed to be. A little bit. I'm a little bit okay with the Queen versus Xiongyan fight because the Queen was hyped up a bit, that there took several rankers to take her down. So the fact that Xiongyan was like willing to fight somebody who has been mentioned to be tough, I was interested to see what kind of power he would use. And the Queen isn't just some creature that's like overly powerful and doesn't do anything. Like she's not just like one of Traumary's dragons, right? Where they don't really have personality. They're just a creature that exists that's powerful. The Queen has some personality about her that's made me like her. Like, when she's fighting Xiongyan, she drops the crown and, she's picking up Evelyn just to put the crown back on her head and she's making the face. That's hilarious. Like, I like that. Like, she has a little bit of, and she wasn't playing with Xiongyan. She was like, okay, like you're really trying me, and I'm really gonna put you on your ass. I liked the Queen. The Queen was pretty good. Could there have been like 3 less panels? Sure, but I thought it was okay. Um, she was just not really good at writing fights. Compare Todd fights at Lookism, it's not even close. You can go after Lookism for goofy plot, but PCJ at least delivers in the fights. Yeah, it really. I think you're right, MS. When it comes to fights, the pacing gets thrown off. It does. It does. You're absolutely right. I think that is probably the most accurate way to put it. The fights. He just doesn't know how long to stage a fight. I don't know if he over like estimates the hype of certain characters. Like, oh, we want to see this character. I personally never wanted to see Bomb versus Dumas. I never wanted that. I never wanted that because Bomb's not at that level of high ranker yet to me. Bomb is at the base level of high ranker. Like, oh, he's at the threshold of high ranker, right? Because he beat the shit out of an advanced ranker in Ren, right? So the next tier will be a high ranker, but I don't think he's beating somebody's ass like a Caliban yet. I think he diffs Caliban, but it's gonna be mid to high diff like of him beating Caliban. That Ren fight was low diff, but a Caliban or yeah, like Caliban, I would say mid to high diff. That's more accurate. But the Dumas is literally like the new like should be the numero uno of Gustang's family. Like next to Proust and whoever, we haven't seen Proust fight or whatever, but the numero uno. So like I don't think Bomb is as strong as the second of a family. I did not think that. At no point did I ever think that he was as strong as the second of a family. So I was never interested in seeing the fight. It was just like, are we really? If it was like, are we really doing this? And are we really dragging this? And then it felt like Bond was just being whiny about it too. And then like the stakes were higher. Like it was just like, bro, your friends are half dead on the ground, and you're just saying, I must do this. I must do this. It felt Naruto-ish. Like, I believe that I can do this. I must do this because I want to do it, because I have to do it, because I want to do it, because I have to do it. That's what the fuck it felt like. If you go back and read the chapters, that's what he was saying to himself. I can't just leave this fight. I gotta do it. Like, huh? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I hated it. I hated it so much. Oh God, I hated that shit. Problem with Bomb is he has many powers, but CU shows him use mainly simple abilities in case Bomb powers form used to overpower White never was properly described how far it gets. But yeah, and then there's that too. It's just like Bomb doesn't also use a bunch of shit that he has. It's just like, okay, in this Dumas fight, we thought that we would see Black Shinsu, but he didn't pull out Black Shinsu, and then people will try to justify why he's not using Black Shinsu, but we've seen Black Shinsu be one of the most effective things he's used. If you're trying to really beat Dumas and the most effective thing we've seen you do is use Black Shinsu, then why are we not using Black Shinsu? I don't understand what we're doing here. If this is as serious as you talking about you want to go all out, where's the Black Shinsu? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Naruto line also applies to Kirin in his fights versus Robodon. Exactly. It applies to a few people throughout season 3. Let's forget about the spin ass. Let's talk about something interesting. Do you think CU hasn't shown 2 Perry family member on purpose? Maybe the family some lore just didn't write in his blogs. So, unfortunately, and I mean really, really unfortunately, some families will get left in the dust. Every family is not going to get shown. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Because every family isn't going to be relevant to Bomb's story. So we have to think about stories in terms of who they focus on, right? So here's another example. Harry Potter, right? I've told you guys I'm a big Harry Potter fan. What houses did we focus on in the Harry Potter movies and books? Gryffindor and Slytherin. What 2 houses did we not explore? Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. Now, we learned more about Ravenclaw than we did Hufflepuff. But Hufflepuff absolutely got left in the dust. Why did Hufflepuff get left in the dust? Because they're not a part of Harry Potter's story. They have their uses as like the Cedric Diggory thing, right? They have their uses where they're relevant, but in the overall story, they don't get explored. We don't know what their common room looks like. We don't know a few people outside the people who are like in the DA. Like just like not enough about Hufflepuff, right? It's the same thing for Tower of God. The relevant families will be the families that are shown in terms of detail. So to Perry, they will have their moment, I think, exactly like a Ravenclaw or a Hufflepuff from Harry Potter. They'll have their moment where obviously we'll meet the family head and we'll see like they're probably their number one and their two in their family. But does that family get explored? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. If it hasn't been mentioned yet and we're 60% through the story, because remember, CU did tell us recently, he told us recently, we're 60% through Tower of God. We are 60% through it. So of that next 40%, will we get to see? Exactly, MS. I tell you, that is one of the things I immediately did when I played Hogwarts Legacy. One of the first things I did was go visit the Hufflepuff common room and the Ravenclaw common room. Those are one of the first things I did because we never knew what they looked like. We always had an idea of the Slytherin and the Harry and the Gryffindor. Never about Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw. And granted, their common rooms were nice as shit. I loved them. I loved the Hufflepuff one. It was very earthy and family oriented, but not to get too much into Harry Potter. But I'm just saying it's the same concept here with this. Some of these families won't get explored. The ones who have lore connected will. Obviously, the Coon family, right? Coon Macheni, Coon Arsenio, Coon Aguero, right? Coon family's in there, right? Blood matter. We got, everything in relation to coffee and Han Sung. Like that there's a connection there where we'll find out what's going on there. They'll have their moment, right? Obviously, Trombley family, obviously the Pobidal family, those like obviously connected Pobidal family and Eurasia family is connected to the Pobidal family, so naturally we'll get the Eurasia family as well. The other ones in the back, like the Ari family, yeah, they're probably going to get explored because of Adori, right? And Ari Han is just like super super interesting. But the other Ari family, to Perry probably probably right now is the one in the back the most. And forgive me, I don't remember all the families at the top of my head, so let me just make sure I'm covering all of them. So here, I'll tell you the families will probably have the least amount of importance. So Lobopia we already explored, right? Pobidal, Eurasia, Ha family obviously because Jin Song and Yuri, Kun family. The other Ari family, the Ari with the E, I don't know if that'll be explored. The two Perry family, I don't know if that'll be explored. And honestly, I don't know if the Yeon family will be explored. While we do have like Yiwa who connects us there, and it could if Yiwa still is relevant to the story because we have not seen Yiwa in a very long time, as Zenu loves to remind us. I don't know if we'll have time to explore them. So at two Perry and the Ari with the E family, those are the two families I'm very skeptical if we'll have time to really explore them. Because the Kun family being the biggest family is going to take up a lot of time. Hindolok family, well, Blood Matter is probably one of the most interesting family heads because of his contract and his connection to Hansung. Ari family, obviously Adori. We done Popidao Lobopia enough. Ha family, we still gotta see Ha family because of Yuri. Eurasia, we still gotta see Eurasia. But I don't know if we'll get the details for the other ones, man. I don't know if the story would allow us that much time because again, it's not even about the families at this point. It's more a bomb story, and if it aligns that way, um, I think honestly, when season 4 comes back, and I told you guys in many of my reviews that towards the end that Zahard and the family heads are going to have a meeting. They're going to have a meeting about Traumari's death, everything that happened there. That's why I think they sent the families to go. They sent Zahard's army. Who'd they send? The Pobi Al Kun guy. I forget his name. Laibalik. They sent Laibalik to go get Lobanon. Lobanon is probably going to get dragged to that meeting to give testimony on what happened in the war. That's my belief. And once we get to see which families are there and who's the most vocal, we can get an outline of what's likely to happen in the story, right? So let's just say Zahar has the meeting about Traumari's death, right? Let's say the two Perry family says that they want to be the family to go capture Bob now, right? It's probably going to be more than just one family. But I'm saying some families don't step on each other's toes, right? And again, everybody isn't against Bob. Some of the families are actually for him. So you'll get to, I think we'll get to see that in the meeting. If they blame Bomb for this, which I think they will. I think they will blame Bomb for all of this. But we'll get to see the direction. So if the Ari family says, okay, it's time for us to step in because we're one of the strongest families and this guy's a problem, then we'll see them. If the two Perry family says, okay, we're not going to be neutral, we're going to get in there, then we'll see them. But that's kind of how you can frame where the importance lands. Right now, two Perry, we haven't even seen a two Perry. We don't even know what a two Perry is. So it would be a nice pace change if we started off season 4 with two Perry. Like, that's the family that we're focusing on at the beginning. That'd be a nice pace change. That would actually be a perfect pace change because we know nothing about them. We'd be introduced to every element of them, how they're connected, what family they're cool with, they're connect, like how two Perry's relationship with Zahard, what his relationship is with the rest of them. Because sometimes the way I feel about this is that the people who were there at Traumari's proposal are the people who are closer than others, right? Because I don't think all the family heads are the best of friends. I don't think all of them are. I think a lot of them are mutuals. And they work well together to establish like the kingdom and all. But I don't think everybody's the best of friends. Like, because if that's the case for me, I feel like everybody should have been at Traumari's proposal. Like, what these guys are literally the sovereigns of the tower. Why wouldn't they have time to go to Traumari's proposal, especially if they all knew what's her face? His girl, I forget his name, but if they all knew her, and they knew their relationship, and they knew they were like the proposal was coming or whatever, how is it that they all weren't there? That's like criminal to me. Like, as somebody who recently got married, and I have my group of friends, like my groomsmen in them, if none of my groomsmen came to my proposal party or even my marriage ceremony, are we friends? Are we friends? Like, are we really friends? Thank you, Amizu. Are we really friends though? Like, these guys are kings and sovereigns of the tower. Why wouldn't y'all have time to go? Like, that puzzles the shit out of me that they weren't there. If anybody had a reason not to be there, it's Zahar. He's the king. He has to maintain status quo. Okay, he gets a pass. Everybody else, I don't think gets a pass. I'm sorry. There's no way. So, I don't think everybody's bosom friends either. So, that'll be interesting. I think if the Zahar meeting actually happens, which it has to happen. And I think it has to happen in person because we've already seen like inklings of them like talking about a meeting when they were talking about like bringing Bomb in and stuff, right? Like they had a meeting. and it was more over like the pocket. They were talking over the pocket and stuff, discussing whether or not they had interest in him. I don't think this is a pocket conversation. One of you died. One of you were killed. Immortality was taken away. I think it's a lot more serious. You have to meet in person. I would compare this to a real life scenario where a major leader goes down. There is no pocket meeting. You have to meet in person. You have to talk. We have to see each other, read each other's energy, and because there've been a lot of speculations, right, about if anybody was supporting Gustang in this, right? You can't tell that over a pocket. You can read energy in person. It's gonna have to be that. So that is, and I said this before, one of the most exciting things I'm looking forward to with season 4 is the reaction from the family heads from discovering Traumari's death and how they move after that. So yeah. God, I'm ranting today, man. I must be in a good mood to be ranting like this. I'm on a goddamn rant-a-thon. I get that, but not even one background character named Two Perry. In the spinoff, there is a Poe beat out light bearer. Two Perry invaded the Opera Lighthouse. Why didn't he make him a two? I completely agree with you, Supreme. I agree with you. I have no idea what the angle is with this. I honestly think it's just another family member to be in the background. I don't know if Two Perry is going to be relevant. Again, I really think it's the same as like a Harry Potter. Every piece of each important element is just not going to be relevant to the main character's story. Like, while Hufflepuff is a major player in the story of Harry Potter, like, Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, major players. Can't discount that they exist. Two Perry can't denounce it that it exists. But in terms of the details and its relevancy to the story, I'm almost way willing to believe it's going to be one of those families that we'll see the family head, we'll see the princesses, but we will not know the nature of them. We'll get the details of what they contributed, and yeah, I'm not sure. I just don't think we have the time. If we're 60% done, I don't know if we'll have the time, bro. I really don't think we'll have the time. 600 chapters and not one background character named Two Perry or the name even being mentioned is insane. But bro, it's gonna give you the entire background on the guy that fought Han Song. Facts. No, I completely agree with you. I don't think. I give CU some credit to his world building is incredible, right? His world building is ridiculously, undeniably 10 out of 10 world building. But that does come with flaws. It does come with flaws where everything cannot be covered. Everything cannot be fully like concepted out. It's so difficult to do something like that. And the amount of stuff we have now is already amazing. If he's thought them out completely in terms of concept and has them, cool. But I'm not sure if that's a thing. So Blood Matter probably gets a pass. Bro is breeding his life. But by the way, the guy is a giant. How many girls in the tower can take that? Yo, whenever I see like giants in any story, right? I'm gonna go back to Harry Potter for this. Like how Hagrid's dad was like really short, like a regular human, and his mom was a giantess. Bro, whenever I see stuff like that, I just think about magic. So my excuse in Harry Potter, right, is that if Hagrid's father was a wizard, he could use a shrinking spell on the giantess mom. Though obviously that could be giants resistance or whatever. But he could use a shrinking spell or a shrinking potion, shrink her for as long as you need to get up in and get out. That's my theory. That's always been my theory with certain things where if the story allows for shrinking, then I'm gonna believe that they can be shrunk. That's always been my logic. Does that pass for everything? No. Obviously, One Piece has a way different giant to landscape, and there aren't like necessarily powers and potions convenient enough to just shrink people. But if like in One Piece, it's almost impossible for me to believe like the giantess person of like a Kaido having it out with like somebody the size of of like even a Nami, like come on, like bro, like and at that point, you know, most authors that tell you like you're not supposed to necessarily think that deep into like stories aren't built to, especially shonens aren't built to be sexually explicit where you are supposed to care about the nature of those things, but we're humans, we're guys, like a lot of us there are girls, but we're humans, like we're gonna think about these things like, well, how the fuck did that happen, like like how does that make sense, like it's like we're like it's gonna come up. Like there's no way you can avoid it. It's gonna come up, especially like depending on the series and you're flashing boobs everywhere. Like you create that. Like if your story isn't like that, then obviously it won't be thought of. But like a One Piece where like literally Nami walks around in a bikini that is like too small, who's not gonna think about her breeding options? Like what are we talking about? Um, so let's hope Siu gives us an Espada level meeting from Bleach. That would be lit. I like that. That's actually a very good comparison. I guess Tower of God Gotcha game will be the thing that delivers on missing plot points. Yeah, and I can also see him doing another side story. Um, Not necessarily Yurik focused. I can see a more well-rounded side story. Like any side story that has to do with lore, will do okay. So the problem with Yurik is that he's a unicorn. So unicorns, he's too special. Something like the side story of the Great Warriors would do fantastic because they had to defeat a lot of elements that were stronger than them. While they were the strongest around and getting stronger, they still had challenges to face, right? And we saw that in the flashback. They had challenges to face. So it creates a great dynamic. Now, the tension won't be as intense because we know they got through it. We already know the end result of it. However, it's more so the lore aspect that'll carry it because everybody has their favorite member that they're watching. It's not just a Yurik, right? You have each family member and their power, and you watch how they grow. So if my favorite family head member is Gustang, but MS yours is Zahard, and Supreme yours is Edwin, then you're going to be hard focused on every moment that they carry, and it's cool to see them have interactions with their friends and their relationships. Like all that shit is going to be good. So a side story like that would do fantastic numbers. Everybody's reading that because it's a part of the world. It's a big part of the world. But Yurik's too much of a unicorn for his side story to be, I think, mainstream as it is. So I remember in the Harley Quinn show they made a joke about one of the characters was really little and the wife was a giant. When bro got asked how did it work, he said, "Not great." See, and it's meant to be ambiguous. It's totally meant to be. So I love shit like that. Um, yeah. Okay. Ooh, I've been ranting today, man. I've been ranting today. So what else is there to cover in the side story? I talked about Rahab getting stomped out. Um, Expect my bomb theory video on his background and everything that'll be out Sunday. Recorded it, just got edited out, finished editing it out, make sure I cover all my details, and it'll be out Sunday. So expect that expect that like late Sunday. As long as blood matter and that doing show up, yeah, yeah, your focus will change. It'll be like, okay, this is who I care about, right? It's the same thing with Tower of God. Like everybody has their favorite characters in the main cast. Some people like, but obviously they're the bomb stands, but some people really like Coon a lot. And when Coon's on screen, they're attached to that chapter. Um, yeah. Um, So the gems, Mago. I like Mago's design a lot. I did think it was interesting though that I really think that the Bomb was reborn from a jewel. I really think that. It's hard for me not to believe that these jewels are that like that. Like they are the item. Like I really think they are the item. Cause like even looking at Mago's return and you look at her in these panels, she's literally floating with jewels around her. Like that is the whole I think that really is the true concept of like power in the tower in terms of these godly figures, the ability to bring people back, the ability to grant people power. I think that Bomb received the jewel directly from Phantominium. I truly think that. It's what brought his dead body back. Like you see these jewels around her, like they are really this is the item like that should be hard focused. They're like everywhere. I think it's really cool too. I do love her hair. Her hair is like really cool, really nice looking, and she's really nice looking. I will say one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to in in the next chapter. We didn't get a reaction from Yurik in this chapter, and I think that was intentional. I don't think CU wanted to give it up to us that easy, because a lot of stuff like did happen in terms of action in the chapter. Things happened, but um, I don't think he wanted to give us the satisfaction of a reaction. We'll probably get that in the beginning of the next chapter. I really wanted to see how he's reacting to seeing her because I don't know if it's a recognition thing. If he'll be able to tell if she's a previous luminous one because she should be a dark one now. I'm gonna call her a dark one for now. She's a dark one now. So I wonder if he can like read or sense that. I wanted to see his reaction really badly. And the red eyes are a telltale. The red eyes are a telltale. I really think the red eyes are a telltale because Yurik's eyes are the same, the exact same. I think the red eyes are a telltale. Mago's gym she came from is one of the gyms we saw in chapter one with Phantom Mania. As far as Phantom Reviving Bomb, I'm not sure about because you said that Fanta won't play a role in the main story. No, I don't think Phantom Minium will play a main role in the main story, but that doesn't mean he won't have effects. You see what I'm saying? Like he's been mentioned in the main story already, and he's canon at this point. So I honestly, since he's canon, I kind of understand what you're saying. But he did write him into the story where he originally wasn't supposed to be in. But I don't think Phantom. I don't think we're gonna like see Phantom in the main story, like in real life action. No, I don't think that's gonna happen. But I think his relevancy will come from Bomb's origins. So yeah, he whatever jewel he gave her, because again, sorry about that. Sorry about that. My bad. My bad. My bad. Must have tapped it out. Um, thanks for the lookup. Um, no, I was saying about Phantominium. I think there are just elements of Phantominium that'll be relevant in the story, like in terms of like Bomb coming back to life. Um, People die. They have more than one life cycle. So that of Cheongium, that of Neo, that of Rahab, they all mention more than one life cycle. So Bomb's story is very similar to that, where he died. His mom preserved his body. Remember, his mom preserved his body. Brought it to Phantominium. Phantominium gives him a crystal directly from him, and this crystal will have significant amount of power because obviously these crystals grant power, but for 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 Arlen and his father's soul, which is actually still which we theorize is also trapped in Bomb's body. They wanted to get revenge, a significant amount of revenge. Now, I'm more along the lines that since Arlen called Bomb a monster, but Arlen doesn't believe that this Bomb is her original son, is what my thought process is, right? Because even if you look at, I'm getting into details about the video. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I almost gotten it. I'm almost giving up my whole thing behind the video I'm doing. I can't do it. The video will drop. I can't do it. I almost did it. I almost went in there. I'm not going in. I'm not going in. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I was about to go off. I caught myself in the middle of a rant. I was about to go off. Anyway, let's move on. I was about to go off, man. Ooh, I was about to spill my whole video concept. Any ideas on who's on this boat? Any ideas on this boat? So obviously we know Machete's here, but there's a second boat on the left side. Um, I think it's a Cineo. I think it's a Cineo. I'm the biggest Cineo fan. I think it's a Cineo. Like we there hasn't been any time where we've seen Machete and we haven't seen a Cineo. If they're always together. Except for when she stopped Jin Song, they've like always been together. So I think it's a Cineo. Somebody did write in my comment section on the video and said that they hope it's another princess. That would be fantastic. I would actually love that a lot. Um, yeah, so like yeah, MS, Arsenio, Graham, Adori, that would be okay. Graham's sister, that would be okay. I'm also cool with another princess. Like those are probably like the top options. If it's another princess, it creates that like Zahar sent us on a mission on a mission type thing, and I love the idea of that. Like I do love the like Zahar sent us on a mission to deal with this type shit. It also gets weird though. It also gets weird because that means that Zahar knows what's going on, and he's like dealing with it, but not dealing with it, but dealing with it. Like, what if, right? Whatever is about to happen here, let's say Machete goes and destroys everything here and whoever she's with. What if they destroy this whole thing? And I don't know if like Phantom Minion's gonna blame Yurik for this, but what if this is what puts a target on Zaharad's back? So assuming that the Phantom Minion incident didn't happen yet, what if sending his princesses to clear out? Because you're possibly Yuri could be here too, a very young Yuri. But what if sending them here to clear this out is what like makes Phantominium say, okay, you want to mess with the shit I got going on? I'm gonna go to your place and slaughter half your family. That would be lit if that's what causes this, right? Because it's almost like Zahar. If Zahar's a part of this, he knows what's happening. And a part of me thinks he does know what's happening just because of the princess thing. A lot of people believe like Zahar's blood inside the princesses gives Zahar like extra access to the princesses to know what they're doing at all times and shit like that. So he would know what's happening. Either way, but if the idea is there are crystal farms on, or jewel farms on different floors, and he's aware of these and he sends his princesses to go destroy them all, that's what causes Phantominium to go to the castle and slaughter everybody. That would be fire. It's like revenge, right? It's like, oh, you like they're called angels, right? So you sent your princesses to kill my angels. Okay, I'm going to kill all your loyal subjects who guard your castle until I stand in front of you. That would be cold hearted. I would love that shit. I would love that shit. Oh boy. All right. If there's anything else, guys, anything else you would like to talk about, chat about in terms of the story? Because I was only going to be on here for an hour. Um, we've already hit that. But if there's anything else you want me to talk about real quick. I do hope this week's chapter is. I hope it's good. I hope we get some Mago. I hope Mago isn't just like obsessed with Yurik or anything like that. I hope there's like I hope we get some background on like how she's alive, how Phantominium beat her, how he brought her in the tower. Like I hope we get to see those things. My theory is that Zahara is related to the Conqueror King and Axis from Siu's other story, and that's why Phantom came in the tower to ask Zahara where he is. I agree with you. I think it's something similar to that, Supreme. That's why I don't think Zahard's symbol is his symbol. It's related to whoever Zahard serves on the outside. And I also think, there's a few times isn't Arlen sometimes referred to as like a princess or whatever? Um like I think it's a lot of like yeah, there's like relations of like royal blood or talented kids, something around those lines. Mago is already giving Andrea vibes. Yeah, and I absolutely detest it. I do detest it. That's why I say I hope it doesn't become a obsession thing where it's like, Yurik, my love, I've been waiting for you to be born for thousands of years. You're the last luminous amongst us. We've always wanted to see you. I've always wanted to train you and get to know you. I hope it's not one of those things. Like, please don't be one of those. Because while that's not bad, if she's powerful to challenge him, then it might be okay because that type of character is not bad if they're strong. And I don't think she's weak, but I'm saying if she can like really give Yurik some run for his money, um, and if she's a dark one now, it would be Yurik's job to get rid of her. So I guess it'd be kind of good. Um, I had a theory that what if Yurik corrupted in the future with energy of Fant gets corrupted, so Yurik loses. Yurik becomes a crystal or a jewel, and then Fanta corrupts him. I think Yurik is kind of meant to be the last great luminous one. He kind of feels like that to me, like he's the last one and he's the greatest amongst them all. There's like I'm trying to think of a story where I got that from. There's like a story, a popular story that also does that. It's like, oh, you're the last one of our blood, but you're the strongest one of our blood. I think it's something along the lines like that. So I'd be willing to believe that he's the one who's like almost impossible to corrupt. But I see what you're getting at. No, I don't think Yuri can be Fanta either. Not right now. Fanta just seems like too conceptually powerful, especially since he's in Axis. Yeah, he could. He could. He absolutely could. You know what? Crazy theory. Crazy theory, MS. Enryu is a previous Luminous one the first one to be born from a dark gem in the tower. So let's say Phantominium has been in the tower for a while, depending on the timeline, obviously, but he's been in the tower for a long time. The first luminous one he turned dark was Inryu, and he sent Inryu because obviously there's a queen, because he's calling Mago the queen, and then there's going to be a king, which could be prophesized as Bomb possibly being the king, right? Or a king to take over. But Enryu, who may be a luminous one who serves the king and the original queen of the gems, what if Enryu is the first one to be born from a dark gem? And he was sent, his mission was to be the messenger of the king or the queen to go to war and cause strife with Zahard because he's the false king, not being to be the king. A luminous one is meant to be the king. That would be like wow. That'd be wild shit. I would like to think that he's unrelated, but that would be wild shit. I do wonder what's your opinion on Enryu. Imagine if he current Yurik can't beat him in admin, but he hears about someone who managed to beat someone stronger than Yurik that isn't Fanta. Yeah, that would be great. But that's what makes it interesting because Yurik wanted to challenge one of the floor guardians. So that's what makes it seem like I think these luminous one people, these guys from the outside, like if we're gonna call them like Phantom Medium, Yurik, Mago, I think they know their limits. Like they know how strong they are or they can be. Yurik just entered the tower and he's high ranker level and he wanted to challenge the floor guardian. And Ryu of is if possibly of the same ilk knew that he was capable and didn't care about anything that happened in terms of attacking the people on the floor of death on the original floor and knowing that a guardian was going to try to attempt them to mess with him and he knew that he could one tap it. Like that is like lit in concept if that's like something that's truly a thing. It's like I don't care. Nobody in this tower can stop me. I'm gonna kill all these guys because they desecrated Arlen. And obviously, Arlen's a connection there, but it's like Arlen could be the daughter of a luminous one, right? And Enryu is like a friend of one of the luminous ones that's Arlen's like daughter. I'm just throwing mixes of things in there that could be possible. So all right. All right, gang. Well, I'm going to get up off here. I really appreciate y'all. MS, Supreme, Yurik, anybody who stayed in to watch. Happy Friday. Again, my bomb theory video will be dropping Sunday. I'm going to get that all edited up and chopped up nicely to send to you guys. But fun talks. Again, this chapter was good. It had some progress, but it was mostly entertaining. So I hope the next chapter is similar. I hope Mago gives us a little bit of details and some lore. It'd be great for us. So, all right, you guys have a good week and be safe, and